I had this comment on my video asking about David Wilcock, so let's talk about him because he is present on the map. Now, his presence on the map is rooted in his role as one of the primary architects of the disclosure movement. Through his work on ancient aliens and his deep dives into the secret space program, he became a key intellectual figure for those seeking to understand and ultimately leave the Matrix. And it was Wilcock that popularized the concept of the sun having a 26,000 year solar cycle, predicting a massive burst of light that would shift the Earth's frequency. He taught that the solar flash isn't the end, but a graduation to 4D. He argued that the deep state has spent decades trying to suppress human vibration to prevent us from ascending. For Wilcock, disclosure was the prerequisite to evolution. And he was one of the most prominent voices explaining how humanity's collective consciousness could override the mechanical predictions of secret technology. As he is also connected to Project Looking Glass, he frequently spoke about a bottleneck in time where all probable futures converged into a single outcome. He claimed that Project Looking Glass began to glitch after 2012 and into the 2020s. And according to his theories, the high frequency of human consciousness was forcing the T1 or the positive timeline to manifest regardless of intervention. By maintaining a high vibration, Wilcock argued that the public was effectively voting for a positive timeline in the collective. And with his passing on the 20th, it sent a lot of ripples and shockwaves through the community. There are two primary ways this is being viewed. Many view his death as a frequency shift, believing by leaving the physical plane, his energetic signature is now helping to lock in the T1 timeline from a non-physical dimension. Many see this as a sign that the old matrix is desperate, but the T1 timeline has already become inevitable. The other way this is viewed is Wilcock's transition has forced the community to move away from relying on a single gatekeeper. For the T1 timeline to fully manifest, the responsibility of holding the light must now shift from one man to the collective. Now, there's a lot of other things happening here. Because of all of recent events, there is a lot of cohesive theory happening. The theory is that by targeting researchers, the dark hope to increase collective anxiety and fear, but instead they're forcing us to awaken. With the deaths of Eric von Däniken in January, Nick Pope in February, and now David Wilcock in April, they have removed the foundational voices in a singular quarter. Combined with roughly 10 scientists involved in UFO research and advanced energy, it all adds weight to the theory that the dark is trying to sabotage the T1 timeline by removing those who understand its mechanics. Every time a figure like Wilcock passes under high stress circumstances, it draws thousands of new eyes to the map, effectively helping T1 take hold. Whether these events are a coordinated pattern or coincidence is up for each of us to decide. However, one thing remains the same. The disclosure community has lost a significant part of its foundation. And as we move forward, we must remember the core teaching. Hold the light, do not be afraid, and stay focused on the T1 future. And for those of you who have not seen the map, here is the map. I have it up on my Substack where you can really zoom in and look at it because there's so much information on here. And we have already gone over so much in the playlist. If you want to discover along with me, with this community, there is so much more yet to come. There is so much to cover on this map. We have just begun to reach through the surface. And always remember, for as contagious as the dark is, the light is 10 times more contagious.